Howdy, I'm Chef Nancy and welcome to Family Friendly Foods. Today we've got a great show sponsored by the Kentucky Beef Council and of course my favorite Value Market. And what we're going to do today, we're going to make hamburger patties and put them on the grill. We've got steak we're going to marinate. We're going to make some pimento cheese. We are going to make some broccoli salad. We're even going to grill some onion for our hamburger, and we're going to make some cheese grits. Here we go. We've got our beef steaks.
Yes.
That I had them cut thick for me at Value Market.
All right.
Usually these sirloins are cut thin. All you do is go to the butcher at Value Market and say, no. I want them about an inch thick. And they'll say, okay, no problem.
Wait. Why do we want it an inch thick, though?
Because I'm going to put them on the grill and I want them to get a chance to get smoky. Oh.
All right. So they need longer, so they need to be fatter.
Fatter. Yes. Right. Like me. Compared to you. All right. Hamburger. We want 80-20.
80-20.
Fat's your flavor carrier. But if you get 70-30, which is 30% fat,
yeah.
Guess what?
What? I don't know.
It's all fat. I mean, it's just you get less burger.
Yeah.
Now, you can get your lean beef, which is 90-10, but it won't be near as
all right,
good.
so we want
80-20. Ground chuck.
All right.
Now, I'm going to have you make these. I'm going to show you how to make them. Now, what size are we going to make them?
Probably fat.
Well,
I'm just guessing.
Yes, that was a guess. Okay, here's what we're doing.
All right.
I usually make 3 burgers to a pound.
Okay.
It's a little bit bigger than a quarter pound.
Okay.
But then it's also not those big old things that you shouldn't be eating anyway.
Got it. All right.
Sorry, every restaurateur in the city of Louisville, but I don't like 8-ounce burgers.
So we're doing a serving size, something that's normal.
No, well,
healthy, perhaps?
Well, healthier. This is a pound and a quarter. So we're going to make 4 of them out of this.
All right.
And what I do is I take them in my hand and, whoops, E. coli. We're going to take it and I'm going to figure it in my hand.
All right.
So they all feel the same size.
Oh, and we're dividing it up ahead of time so we can add or subtract.
Exactly.
And by the way, we've all washed our hands before we started.
As Sarah Moulton would say, our hands are impeccably clean.
Yes.
Watch what I'm doing.
All right.
I'm going to flatten it some. I want to make it kind of big because I hate when I have a hamburger this size and a bun that size.
Right.
That aggravates me.
That makes me crazy.
What also I hate is you get whatever, what is it, 8 hot dogs?
Yeah.
And you get 8 hot dog buns. But if you get hamburgers, you get all those hamburger buns and they last forever. And what scares me is 2 weeks later, and they're still not moldy. All right, you see how I'm cupping my hand, making it round? All right, this is what I want you to do. Then when we get done, we're going to salt, pepper, and put a little seasoning on it.
All right, and we're doing this on wax paper.
On wax paper.
All right, I'll be here doing the cupping of the meat.
All right, now with the beef marinade, I'm using beef broth. The recipe calls for 1 cup, which is a little bit more than half of this. I'm using all of it because I've got so much beef. I promised the boys at Value Market that I would bring them some steak back. Yeah.
They're nice.
Oh, that looks beautiful. All right, now I'm taking some green onion and just rough chopping it, and I'm going to put it in my beef broth. I'm not going to use any salt. I got low sodium beef broth. I love pepper. Pepper.
So pepper's going to kind of take up make the seasoning for this, so we don't need the salt, is that?
No, we're going to use soy sauce.
Oh, okay. Oh, that has a lot of salt.
Yeah. I am going to use some garlic.
Smash it with the side of the knife. You taught me how to do that.
I'm going to have you put a little Worcestershire sauce on each one. And then we're going to put some seasoned salt and some black pepper and some garlic powder.
So I I've never really thought this through, but what's the difference between soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce? I mean, they look alike, but they...
All right, soy sauce is made from soy.
Like soybeans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Worcestershire has all kinds of stuff in it. Anchovies, tamarind, all kinds of stuff. Now, if you can't have fish or you're vegetarian, we've got here in town somebody that makes a vegetarian or vegan soy sauce, and that's Bourbon Barrel Foods.
Huh. That's good to know.
You know. Yeah, it is good to know. I've got a niece that I send it all the way to St. Louis. All right, what I want you to do is take and do a little bit of Lea Perrins on each one and spread it around with your finger.
This, you know, I'm liking this way of cooking. I like to just use my hands.
Well, heck yeah. And then you want some Lawry's, garlic powder, and pepper. Add a little bit of oil to this just because I don't want it to stick to the grill. Now, bourbon. I usually use...
Looks like there's not much bourbon left there, Chef Nancy. What's been going on
it's
over
my
here?
sister's.
Oh.
And I'm going to use this, and she's not going to be happy. Oh, I'm not using it all. All right. Now, soy sauce. There are a million kinds of soy sauce. All right?
Okay.
I go to the Value Market out 3rd Street.
Right. Oh, I love that one.
And they've got some that aren't even written in English.
Yeah.
This is my superior dark soy sauce called Pearl River. This stuff is so thick, it's like it's been reduced. See how thick it is?
Wow, it looks like balsamic vinegar.
Yes. A lot of chefs would say, well, why don't you season that on both sides?
Yeah, why don't you season that on both sides?
Well, because of all the other stuff we're going to be doing. We don't need any more salt, right?
We didn't know because we got all of that in.
The Worcestershire is going to soak in because we're making these ahead of time. If you're having a party tonight, you can make these now, cover them, put them in the refrigerator, and they soak up all that yummy. But you still taste the good beef. Here's what I like to do.
All right.
I like to take it, and you don't need much in there, okay?
How is it?
I think it needs a little bit more bourbon.
It's really delicious.
All right, now what I would normally do from here, Kirby, is I would put this in a big Ziploc bag. But because of my height,
yes, you want a small
I
Ziploc
picked
bag?
up the quart instead of the gallon. So whatever.
Because the
gallon was up high.
All right, so what are we going to do here?
So we're not.
So we're not going to do that.
So I'm going to just put these
straight in. Okay.
But it's great to put them in a Ziploc bag and then put them on a flat plate. Now see how nice and thick this is?
It's huge.
Well, that's right. This is enough for 4 to 6 people.
One?
Yes.
One of those is good enough for 4 to 6 people, or the whole package?
One of them.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot of meat.
Well, I guess it's serving
size.
All
right, let's look at it again.
Right.
We've got 3 pounds here, so it's 1.5 pounds each.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of fat.
And I'm sure we're going to have something else besides meat with this meal.
Yes, we are, and we're getting ready to make it. Okay, we're going to put this stuff in the refrigerator. What shelf?
The bottom shelf, because
you don't want any of this dripping on any food that's already ready to make. Okay, let's do a quick clean, and we're going to make some good stuff. All right, we've got all our E. coli cleaned up. Now, you're going to make the pimento cheese for the hamburgers.
I've never done that before, so I'm excited about that.
Well, the best way of doing it is to grate your own cheese.
Why is that?
You can buy it already grated, but if you buy like a really good Kenny's white cheddar or something and you grate it, it has a much powerful flavor of the cheddar.
All
it's
right,
yummy.
that's good to know.
But if you want to cheat, you can
I'll probably cheat because I don't really have that patience.
I understand that, Kirby.
Then, but I'm glad to know that.
Right. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to save this for the grits.
Okay.
I'm giving you that.
All right.
That. Kind of mash that in there.
All right, I'll start mashing.
And you're going to add mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise. About 2 of these.
Mayonnaise. It's mayonnaise.
You obviously are too grown up. Your kids are too grown up. And some pimento. Now, one of the things I want to do is cook some onions on the grill.
I like that.
Yeah, well, in one show we talked about doing them, and we wrapped them in foil.
I remember that.
And we're going to do that again.
All right, that was a great way to make those, and they were so delicious.
Only I'm going to do them a little different this time. I'm going to take them, I'm going to cut them real thin.
This seems like it'd be easier to just mush with my hands.
All right, go ahead. As long as they're clean, who cares?
They're clean.
All right. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use half the red onion, and I'm going to slice it real thin. But if you slice it thin, it's going to cook fast. Now, I don't want to caramelize it. I don't want to make them turn brown and bring all the sugar out, because I don't like that sweetness on my hamburger. A little sweet's fine, but a lot of, well, you did such a good job, Kirby.
Thank you.
You might want to wash your hands now. I'm not real good with this kind of stuff.
No, I am good with that kind of thing. Would you like me to do that?
No, I'd rather complain about it. All right, now.
Pimentos.
Yeah.
As I feel fit.
Don't do them all, but that's good.
Okay. In the meantime, you're filling the aluminum foil with half of a large onion.
Well, it's a medium.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much you want. We won't use all this.
So how much are you going to use there? A cupful?
Yeah, I just want to get some oil on it.
What are pimentos?
They're a type of red pepper.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, now I want some, I'm going to get myself some seasoned salt and some black pepper.
I'll get that for you. You stay there and keep cooking.
Boy, you're bossy.
Well,
You're a mama, aren't
hungry.
you? All right, got my pepper and just a little bit of salt. Now, I'm going to take these.
You're making a little pocket out of it.
I am making a pocket.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
I used to think,
mayonnaise.
when I was a kid, I couldn't say the word banana. I called it Bolanos. Bolanos until I was way too old. I think I'm done. Is that good?
Well, we need to taste it.
Okay.
So
There's a lot of mayonnaise on that. Oh, so I forgot that trick.
Oh, yummy.
Good?
Yeah, let's put a little pepper in it.
What do you taste when you say it needs pepper? I mean, what are you...
I didn't taste any, and I like pepper.
Okay, all right.
Now, some people aren't pepper people. I am. And I told you before, the reason I'm not using grated pepper is because it absolutely kills my arthritis. All right, now.
That's good, because I don't really like pimento cheese, but that's good.
Now, you can add jalapenos to it if you want, anything. The cream cheese, it helps the whole thing. So we're going to take that, and what we're going to end up doing with it, refrigerating it until we're going to
Shall I go do that?
Yeah, you can put a little top on it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, but before you do that, we're going to make broccoli salad.
Yum.
And what we have here, blanched the broccoli earlier.
Do you use some mayonnaise with that?
You could. You put it in salted boiling water. When it comes back to a boil, I didn't want it to cook for very long because I want it to be crispy. Now, what I'm going to do is make sure this is bite size.
Oh, and that's why you're cutting the stem?
Yeah, I cut it through the stem, then the flowerette still looks pretty.
That's a good trick.
Yeah.
A lot of times I have just a lot of little flowerettes all over the place because I've cut it from the top.
Yeah. I think I only need 2 green onions.
Okay.
About 1 green onion to a cup of broccoli. Now, you can do this with green beans, and I've done it with green beans where I've used frozen green beans and just thawed them.
Interesting.
You know, you're in a rush, and it's really good with French cut green beans. And it's good with blanched Brussels sprouts, any of that stuff. It's all yummy.
I think we should do a show on blanching.
Well, we did.
Okay.
Remember the vegetable show? And we blanched green beans and Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I need to go back and watch that show.
Yeah, well, evidently.
Well, we do a lot, you know.
I know, we do so much in one show. Now, we also need a tomato. Now, this is a hydroponic tomato.
It's gigantic.
I know, it's way too big for this.
Okay.
But we're also going to use some of it if somebody wants some on their hamburger.
Ah, I think I would be that somebody.
You might be. Now, when I cut, I'm just going to cut a little bit off there.
Why?
So it's not all skin when you put it on your burger.
Okay. Are hydroponic vegetables and fruit, I guess, are they becoming more and more
Well, you can grow them all the time.
Yeah.
And even though they just, here, can you taste that?
Yes, I can.
Tastes like it came out of the garden. Hydroponic is good.
It is very good. You've sold me.
Yeah, I'm going to slice them, then I'm going to come back and chunk them. But I want them to be bite-sized. I don't like when stuff doesn't fit on my fork or my spoon.
Or in your mouth easily.
Yeah. Okay, now.
What next, boss?
How simple is this?
That's simple enough for me.
Now, you can use whatever dressing you want. You can make your own or you can buy some.
Okay.
I'm making this easy, family friendly. What I've got here is from Value Market, and I've got a balsamic vinaigrette. You can use ranch dressing, but please try using something else. Please.
Because of all the fat in the ranch, or because
Well, just because
boring?
you need to learn how to eat something else.
Okay.
I mean, you know, these people are going to be 50 years old, and they're only going to eat ranch dressing.
Right.
know?
Kick it up a notch.
Yeah. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on it, stir it up. Now, see how pretty that is?
Balsamic is very good too, though. It makes me. It says good summer
Oh,
dressing
it's
because
so
it's light.
bright. All right, nice, happy salad. All right, now,
What's next?
the next thing we're going to do, and we can put these up in just a minute.
All right.
And we're going to put these on a plate.
All right.
Is we're going to finish the grits.
Finish the grits.
Now, what I did with these grits, just so y'all know.
You go ahead and talk to our friends at home, and I'm gonna
Okay, I will talk to our friends at home. Hi, friends. I only made a half a cup of grits. And again, I used Weisenberger. So remember the cream cheese? And I used half of that block. Well, if I had a whole cup in here, I would use the whole 4 ounces. But I'm just going to cut that in half. And I'm going to wipe this off because I don't want that flavor in there. And I'm going to put it in here and rather hot and stir it up and let it melt. This is going to be so good and creamy. Now, when you make grits, I made these with water. You can make them with chicken stock. You can make them with anything you want. You can make them with milk, half water. You can make them with heavy cream, all that stuff. Or you can make them with water and add stuff to it so they'll be nice and creamy.
I love grits.
So do I.
I didn't really ever have grits until I moved down here to Louisville.
I bet.
And they're so good.
And Weisenberger are the best.
Can I mix this up a little bit more?
Well, hang on, because I'm going to ask you to do that.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of blue cheese.
Okay.
Now, if you want to add more, that's fine. You want to add less, that's fine. If you want to add some other kind of cheese.
You like blue cheese?
Well,
Because
it's just a fun flavor.
it is.
You know?
It's a party in your mouth.
It is. And we've got the pimento cheese for the hamburger, which is cheddar. So I just thought we'd do this. Now, if you will stir that
I'd
up.
be happy to.
And then what we're going to do, folks, is everything's ready now. We're going to fire the grill up.
Let's fire up because now I'm really getting hungry. This looks so good. Do I need this blue cheese to melt or is
It will melt.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to hold it in the oven at low, which is like 180.
Do I need to cover it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we get finished, oh, wait a minute, we have to do this, Kirby. I'm going to get it away from the sides so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
And I'm sure I could use the bigger pot. I just couldn't find one.
So that makes it easier cleanup and more food to eat. Should I put it in?
Uh-uh.
Nope.
Taste it.
Yeah, let's get grilling.
Let's clean up and go to the grill. Okay, here we are on this gorgeous day in Louisville. Now, I'm gonna put these burgers on the grill. And again, thank you to the Beef Council and the Value Market. We seasoned one side of them and not both sides because we want to taste the yummy beef. It's 80-20. Now I'm gonna put it on the grill. Hear it sizzling? I had the grill on high and I turned it down to medium because I don't want to get this flaming up really high and burning it. Also, I want to show y'all a trick. Before I put these on, I rubbed the grill down with a towel and some oil so it wouldn't stick. Now, here's the trick, people. When do you flip a burger? You flip it, same way with a steak or any piece of red meat you're doing on the grill, when it starts getting gray around the edges. Now, people talk about they want their hamburger well done. Some people don't. When you're talking children, seniors, pregnant women, people with a compromised immune system, you really don't want to do rare meat. But that doesn't mean it can't be juicy. So I've got the hamburgers here. And what I'm going to do when they get gray around the edges, I'm going to flip them. Then, after I do, when I start seeing the blood coming to the top, I like mine medium. So I'm going to pull it off. Now, if I've got kids and I want it well done, it doesn't mean it has to be dried out. I'm just going to close the grill for about 30 seconds or so. Open it back up, and it'll be ready to go, because once it sits on the platter for a few minutes, taking it in, getting ready to plate it up, it'll absolutely be well done but still juicy. There's no reason well done meat can't be juicy. So now I'm going to flip them. Oh, look at that. You'll see here, right here. See the blood starting to come up right there? This means it's about medium. So I'm going to take this one off. And I'm going to look at all of them. And I've got the blood coming up there. So I'm going to pull this one off. And I'll let these two cook a little longer. And what I'm going to do to show y'all, I'm going to close the grill literally for 30 seconds. That's all I'm going to do. It's going to cover it. It's going to cook like in an oven. It'll be even. These are cooking right now, the ones I took off. They're already cooking. See the smoke? These will be a little smoky, so that'll be yummy. Now, this has been closed for about a half an hour, 30 seconds, half a minute. Remember one thing about beef. Beef is 75% water, 75%. So the longer you cook it, the more it shrinks. So if you cook it way too much and don't make it juicy, you've got, well, it's just terrible. It's just, don't do that. All right, let's go have a hamburger. Okay, now I've got a good deli bun that I cut in half, and I'm gonna put one of my hamburgers on it. Now, I'm gonna put my cheese. Now, I've got this homemade pimento cheese, and I know I'm using my fingers, but I'm gonna be eating this too, so. Now, you've got plenty of carbs with the bun. Now, I'm gonna put a tomato on it, and instead of using lettuce, I'm using nasturtium leaves. Now let me tell you about nasturtiums. When you eat them, it's a little peppery, so it adds a little tang to it. Not hot like a jalapeno, but pepper like good black pepper. So I've got that, and I'm gonna have myself some broccoli salad. I don't know that that was good grammar, but broccoli, tomato, and green onion with my balsamic vinaigrette. Here you go. Yummy in my tummy. Ah, we're ready for the steak. I sliced some onions to put on the hamburger, and I forgot about them. So I'm gonna put them on now, and we're gonna have them with the steak. So I got those, I'm putting them in the back of the grill. Now, for the meat. Here I've got my sirloin steaks that I had them cut for me at Value Market. Put one here, and I'm gonna put one here. Now, I know this is a lot of meat, but I'm gonna share it with my buddies at Value Market. I've got this up on high because I want it to sear real well. And I'm gonna turn it after it gets a little bit of gray around the edges. But in the meantime, I'm gonna turn it before then and see about my stripes. All right, now I'm going to turn it just a little bit in another direction. What I've got here is a sirloin steak. Back in the day, you used to be able to get them cut like this all the time, and they'd have a big fat cap on them. Well, you can't get them like that anymore. For some reason, fat got a bad name, even though that's the flavor carrier. So that's like when you buy meat and you see the words on them like prime has the most flavor and has the most marbling. But what ends up happening is people think it's fat. After prime comes choice. That's what you see at a lot of the better groceries and places like meat markets. Prime is very expensive. Choice has a lot more marbling, kind of like you can see the marbling in this. And that's going to be flavor. Then Select has the least amount of marbling, and Commercial has like 0 marbling. Lots of groceries sell Select. All right, now I'm starting to get gray around the edges, so I'm going to turn this. Oh, look, nice mark. I'm going to wait for the blood to come up, just like I did with the hamburger. And I've got my onions here, and they're starting to get soft, which is good. You can tell when they're done, you feel them and they're soft. So that's what we're doing. And all I wanted to do was heat them up some to bring some of the sweetness out. I don't want them raw, but I don't want them caramelized. Now, if you look at this, you can see how I punch on it, and it's pretty darn soft. Okay, that's pretty rare. But we're starting to get blood over here. Can y'all see that? And then I'm gonna take the meat off. See, there's some pretty blood right there. I'm not trying to be gross, but this is just the way you tell it. I've closed the grill. The blood just started coming up, but it didn't come up in the middle, and that's where it's the thickest. Close the grill. See, we got a little smoke going here. It's gonna give it a nice smoky flavor. Now, I'm gonna pick the lid up. Oh boy. Now, I've got it coming everywhere. There we go, we're set. Now, I'm gonna take it off. Got my steak. I'm gonna let it rest for a minute, and I'm gonna be ready to go. All right, now when I cut it, I'm gonna have my knife flat almost, and I'm gonna cut it at a pretty severe angle. Now see, what I've got here is medium. It's pink in the middle. And when you cut it like this, it makes it easier to eat. Isn't that nice? What a pretty color. I'm gonna take my onions and see how pretty they are. All right, now, and again, I meant this for the hamburger, but it's gonna be good on the steak too. And I'll kind of garnish the tray. I'm gonna make a plate. Yummy!